Hey, welcome World Entertainment. And Alien and Predator news seems to be coming thick and fast all of a sudden. And now we have confirmation Alien Romulus 2, or whatever it's going to end up being called, is officially a go and should be set to film this year. And we got the particular month that it's looking for from director Fede Alvarez himself. So let's have a look at this and see exactly what this is about. So, another Alien movie is on the way. Director Fede Alvarez confirms that pre-production is underway for the sequel to Alien Romulus, the hit movie that continued the franchise released last year. While appearing on a podcast, there is a name for the podcast, I have no idea how to pronounce it, Fede Alvarez confirmed that pre-production is underway on the sequel to Romulus, with filming set to begin in October. So they're planning to start filming this thing this October. Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez, brought the iconic xenomorphs back to their horror roots. The film followed a group of young colonists on a derelict space station who stumbled into a deadly encounter with the franchise's infamous creature. Set between Alien and Aliens, the standalone movie earned praise for blending practical effects with new lore. It opened to good numbers, pulling in over 105 million domestic and over 350 million globally, strong enough for 20th Century Studios to greenlight the sequel so quickly. By the way, if you're wondering, if I remember correctly, the budget for Alien Romulus was something like 80 million, so it didn't cost them an arm and a leg to actually make the bloody thing. So it's saying Alvarez teased bigger plans for the future of the franchise, as in a previous interview he talked about the idea of a super crossover between Aliens versus Predator, saying the best AVP will be the one that you don't know is AVP until the other guy shows up. You think you're watching a Predator movie and then FNL, it's a xenomorph, or vice versa. While there's no official confirmation of a crossover yet between Alvarez's comments and Dan Trachtenberg's recent remarks about Predator Badlands expanding the universe, the groundwork may already be in motion. Recent rumors do offer an AVP reboot is happening, and of course the Alien Earth series also debuts in 8-episode season on Tuesday, August 12th. And of course we reviewed the trailer to that, which they finally dropped. So yeah, now everyone's going to start trying to point the finger and saying, oh, this is going to be an AVP movie. No, it probably won't. It will be the follow-on to Romulus, which again, I still have issues with it being a direct sequel to Romulus. Being the case, now Fede Alvarez has started to speak about like going bolder, bigger, and going to a completely new story and stuff. But the head guy of Fox is the one who is very much talking about, oh, I can't wait to get back with the surviving characters. That being Kaylee Spinney's character of, what was she called? Rain, wasn't it? And Andy, the character of Andy, her brother, the synthetic brother. And straight away it was like, now their story is wrapped up. Like, there's no need to continue with those characters. And it wouldn't particularly make all that much sense. Realistically, what you need to do is you need to go forward. That's what you do need to do. You need to get away from the Ripley era and move forward. Because it's the same with watching Romulus. Whether you liked it or you didn't like it, you do have that question of like, well, where is Ripley? Where is she? She's obviously out there somewhere. And of course, there's the Easter egg in there to say she was on the Romulus station and stuff. I don't buy that at all. You know, if it's not in the movie and stuff, then it's not the case. Let's be real about that. And it also makes no sense that she would have been on there. But you need to get away from that point of where people can be asking, well, where is she? Why isn't she here? Why isn't Weyland-Yutani with her coming forward and saying, oh, we know what this thing is and stuff like that? It's best to just move away from that. You don't have to go like hundreds of years later or something, but you do need to move forward. And I think that should be what the idea with whatever the sequel will be called to Romulus. I wouldn't be, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if it's called Remus. It could be. For anyone going, why the hell would it be called that? Because the two brothers side by side are Romulus and Remus, which you'll even see in the movie. The actual part of the station they go on first is Remus. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's that. It wouldn't make much sense, being the fact that Romulus was part of the station and whatnot. Remus was the other side and the station's gone. But you know what I mean. Either way, moving away from those characters, that story, and the alien stories that we've had so far. I don't know whether this wants to try and retcon Alien 3 and 4. I wouldn't be surprised, because that is what Neil Blomkamp's idea was, and of course everybody was up for that. Unfortunately, thanks to Ridley Scott, we didn't get it. And now what happens, by the way, if you haven't seen this, Ridley Scott has turned around now and said, yeah, I think I've done everything I can with the Alien. So it sounds like he's actually stepping away from it, that he won't have any involvement, which is a good thing. But at the same time, it's like, you put this crap in there that stopped this stuff happening. So we never got that, what would be technically Alien 5, but canonically would be Alien 3, where Sigourney Weaver was going to come back and Michael Biehn was going to come back and all this stuff, and it would have been the true sequel to Aliens. Either way, will this end up doing that? Don't know. Will it actually follow the characters of Rain and Andy again? Don't know. We don't have that type of information yet. What we do have, though, is that it is in pre-production and it is set to film this October. So we'll have to wait and see. And of course, could they possibly even do something where they actually get Sigourney Weaver to come back as Ripley? If that's the case, then I think there could be a lot more interest in this. Either way, again, it's early stages. We'll have to wait and see. I, for one, I'm looking forward. I did enjoy Romulus. I did my review on that. I said flat out, I still have issues with it. You know, that whole third act is, that's what that is. And, you know, the kind of member berries, especially, which you've probably all seen by now, the get away from her, you bitch, was just like, yeah, that was cringe. But the overall story and the characters I did like. Mainly Andy, like, was the standout character in that. And he should have been the half-destroyed droid that they find that talks about the black goo and stuff like that. It shouldn't have been the other version of Ash, which, what was he called, Burke or something, or Buck, something like that, I can't remember. But it shouldn't have been Ian Holmes. They should have done another Andy or a David. Either way, pre-production, let's see what we get. Let's see what information comes out and what Fede Alvarez starts telling us we can expect to see in this movie. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.